been talking about winning wounded, and today we are going to focus on healing from emotional wounds. So what exactly are emotional wounds, and is it possible to heal from them? An emotional wound is a negative experience or set of experiences that cause pain on a deep psychological level. Psychological means of affecting or arising in the mind related to the mental and emotional state of a person. So, an emotional wound is a negative experience or set of experiences that cause pain on a deep mental and emotional level. The ramifications of these wounds, if not healed, can last for years and impact the psyche of the individual. So y'all, I'm thinking this practically encompasses all of us in varying degrees, because we will all have or have had or will have a negative set of experiences at some point in our lives. Y'all, life does not play favorites. It does not discriminate based on race, bank account, or relationship status, right? Hence the phrase, life happens, or life be lifing. Each of us will encounter life in a way where we feel sucker punched by trouble. In fact, as it relates to emotional wounds, there are actually 5 wounds that are considered universal. Abandonment wounds result when a parent or primary caregiver, peer, or partner is physically or emotionally absent. This can also include when a loved one dies. Humiliation wounds result when you receive excessive disapproval or harsh criticism. Rejection wounds result from a feeling of not being accepted or being rejected by your parent, primary caregiver, peer, or partner. The injustice wound is a result of being in a cold and authoritarian environment where our sense of individuality has been hindered. And a betrayal wound results when you experience disappointment from a parent or primary caregiver, peer, or a partner. So since we know that no one is immune or exempt, and we are all susceptible to facing one or more emotional wound in our lifetime, exactly what are we supposed to do about it? Do you think it's possible for people to heal from emotional wounds? Do you believe it's possible to win if we have been wounded emotionally? Or do you believe that emotional wounds are impossible to recover from? This is why I appreciate all of the different encounters that Jesus had with people in the Bible. We can see women, men, and children that all had different types of wounds. And not a single one of these wounds were beyond the reach of Christ's supernatural power. Do y'all remember the woman caught in adultery? Her story is found in John 8:1-11. And this woman, she was caught in the act of adultery, placed in front of a very judgmental crowd, used as a pawn to trap Jesus, and she was minutes away from facing death by stoning. I'd say that she had all 5 of these universal emotional wounds. Rejection because she was shunned by the crowd as a result of her behavior. Abandonment because she was abandoned by everyone. No one wanted to associate with this woman, including the person that committed adultery with her. Yeah, right? Where was he? He didn't stand up and say, if you were going to stone her, then you got to stone me too, because it takes 2 to tango, right? Humiliation because she was publicly shamed in front of a self-righteous mob. Betrayal because she experienced a tremendous amount of disappointment at this point in her life, and injustice. You know, although stoning was the punishment she rightfully deserved, no one in the crowd was without sin, right? This was made apparent when Jesus challenged them by saying, all right, but let the one who has never sinned throw the first stone. Gradually, every single one of her accusers left. None of them were qualified to be her judge, only Jesus. And he offered her grace instead. Here in this tense and very difficult scene, we see God's power to heal emotional wounds. He stands up, looks at this woman and says, "Where are your accusers? Didn't even one of them condemn you?" I'm sure she was filled with shock and gratitude when she said, "No, Lord." And then Jesus said, "Neither do I. Go and sin no more." This is such a powerful representation of what God can do in the face of emotional wounds. If you have been rejected, betrayed, abandoned, humiliated, and experienced injustice, there is safety and healing and grace found in the relationship with Jesus Christ. Was this woman instantaneously freed from the emotional pain that she suffered? Honestly, I don't know. And I would venture to say that she still experienced some pain because she had to continue to do life and engage with that crowd. But I believe she was able to win wounded because of her face-to-face encounter with the living God. She was a winner because she experienced the undeserved and unexplainable and unmeasurable grace of God that is available for every single person that has experienced emotional wounds. If we have experienced one or more of these universal emotional wounds, God's grace enables us to win wounded. We must choose to believe that we are not imprisoned by the negative experiences or set of negative experiences that cause pain in our mental and emotional state. We can choose to believe the words of God as opposed to the words we have become accustomed to maybe telling ourselves. This may require some additional support from a therapist or a counselor. But I believe that healing is possible for every person that has experienced emotional wounds. Now, I want to talk to a specific group of people who have experienced emotional wounds from your father. If that is the case, I want to encourage you to check out the resources in the description section of this YouTube video. I have crafted them with you in mind. Additionally, I want to invite you to join me next week when we will be talking about winning when you have been mentally wounded.